My name is Jack Merseal, and I am a first-year student at Rankin Technical College in St. Louis, Missouri. My field of study is application and web development, and I'm preparing to finish my second semester of a 2-year, 4-semester-long curriculum. This semester, I learned about the fundamentals of C# while learning how to build console applications and Windows Forms applications. I will be demonstrating my final project for the class, which is created using Windows Forms and a C# database. For this project, we had to create an app that helps someone solve a specific problem. I chose to gear this project towards Six Flags St. Louis and the guests visiting the park. I often hear those who visit the park talk about their experiences that they had and what needs to be improved, but the park usually does not receive said feedback. The app I built for this project will allow the park's visitors to give their opinion on what improvements they'd like to see made throughout the park. They'd also be able to give the park a rating on a scale of 1 to 5 and leave a detailed review about their experience. Furthermore, any information the visitors add to their text boxes on the page will be added to a database, and the park will be able to make improvements based on the data, not informations. This project was set up based on a couple different apps. The first of which was a lab assignment I did where I had to add different items such as sundaes and sodas to a food order. This project provides similar functionality to that, but with different information being entered. I decided to go with the layout like Yelp for this. On Yelp, the area where users enter reviews is near the top of the page, and this app takes a similar approach. The way I have users giving a star rating is different, however. Yelp has users clicking different star buttons to rate something, and I have users entering a number between 1 and 5 in a text box. I placed a text box where users enter their star rating towards the middle of the page, while Yelp has it at the very top. Google is the final app that my project was inspired by, and that's for the average rating. If I were to look something up on Google, it would have an average rating out of 5 stars, and I implemented something like that into mine. Here are the key features that I will be implementing into my final project. I'll go over each of them in depth once I start demonstrating my app, but to keep it brief, the first key feature is performing CRUD operations on the data that user enters. And CRUD stands for Create, Read, Update, and Delete. The second feature is displaying data on a second Windows form, and the third is finding the average rating by performing some basic math calculations. Now I'm going to demonstrate this app in action. And if I can pull the thing up real fast. All of our things we did were in Visual Studio. So I'm going to hit Final Project. And so what we have here, we have a couple different... Actually, I'll open the wrong menu. There we go. So what we have here, we have a couple different text boxes on the page. And we have this one in the middle right here. Just kind of, I don't know, like make it look nicer, I guess. So enter my first and last name. This will be my real name. And then we review the park. I would say good park. A new ride would be nice. So a new ride would be nice. So let's put that in there. And then what would I rate the park on a scale of 1 to 5? This is where the average rating portion would come in. So whatever number I enter between 1 and 5, it'll add to a total score. And then it'll take that score and divide that by the number of button clicks, which every time I click this, it'll go up by 1. So let's say my experience is a 4 out of 5 there. So I hit send rating. And then sure enough, it adds 4 to the total score and gives an average of 4. And then let's see, I said rides, and then what would happen here, I would click on one of these radio buttons. And what it would do, it would display different subcategories based on whatever I clicked. So if I hit rides and then show further suggestions, if I decide to change my mind, I could hit clear suggestion, which that'll clear everything out. So I hit rides and then show further suggestions. What this does is it displays 4 different subcategories, and if I wanted to, I could change my rating. So let's say my experience wasn't, after thinking about it, my experience wasn't great, so I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I hit send rating. It updates the average because it would add 3 onto the total counter and then add another button click. So it'd be 7 divided by 2 equals 3.5. So let's say I wanted to add a new ride, because that's what I put up here. So what it did here, it took the value that I put in the previous radio button, so I clicked rides, and then I clicked the add a new ride button, it would say add a new ride. So I'm going to hit submit feedback, and what this will do, it'll open up the second Windows form, which is one of the features I had. If it'll open, okay, there we go. So it has different users already entered in here, and those are stored in the database prior. And so then that was the read portion of CRUD. Now, if I were to hit this add button, it would perform the create portion of CRUD. So let's hit add. Sure enough, my review is now in the database. And what I could do, I could search the review by the name, review, or name, rating, and suggestion, sorry. So if I put, I don't know, James Hetfield, let's do a search for that. And then if I were to hit search, what this will do, it'll display only the information whose name is James Hetfield, as seen here. And then if I were to put search for anyone that has 4 out of 5 stars, it would only display Kal-El in this case because he's the only one who has 4 stars in his thing. And now we can do the delete user by ID. And what this does, this will remove the user entirely from the database. So I don't know, let's just say that my review, or like my thing for adding a new ride, let's say that came true, and the park doesn't need that suggestion anymore. So what happens? I would hit this, and I think it's like that because I was doing a lot of testing with it. So I'm going to hit delete user. I would enter that and then hit this button right here, and that should remove my review from the database. So hit delete user, and then right here it says user deleted. Sure enough, there we go. And if I also wanted to, I could update the user. So I don't know, let's just say number 2. That's a Bruce Wayne over here. And then his experience was great. He's currently rated like a 2 out of 5 because there was trash everywhere. And let's say his experience was a little bit better than he remembered it. So let's give it a 3 out of 10. And I don't know, let's say his name is now Batman, because why not? Because Batman's awesome. But Superman is better. Anyway, but that's beside this point. So if I were to hit update user, Batman has been updated. So now it would say, instead of Bruce Wayne, it says Batman. So that is pretty much my final project. Now what I will do real fast, I will show the user information, like how the databases look and whatnot. So I'm going to close all of these out, and I'm going to go up here, I'm going to type in, there we go. So that's how I find the databases in here. So it would be right here, databases. There we go. So that's the name of my database, Six Flags St. Louis Suggestions. So I'm going to hit this and then go to tables. I have it as DBO, which stands for database suggestions. So I'm going to right click this, view data. And this shows all of the data that was in the database. Like, for example, it originally was a Bruce Wayne that was named Batman. And then after I updated it, it changed the name from Bruce Wayne to Batman. And I'm trying to think, I don't think there was anything else I might have missed, because I got the CRUD operations, because changing Bruce Wayne to Batman was the update portion of it. I did the delete, did the read, did the create. I'm trying to think here. Is there anything else I missed? I don't believe that is. I think that's all. Oh, I'm doing one last thing here. And there, like, obviously you can do some, like, different changes and stuff. Like, there was, like, a no improvement needed. So, like, say there was no one that needed improvement, they could just hit that, and then that'd be it. So that pretty much wraps up my demonstration of my final project. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And also, shout out to Mr. Gummisted in the classroom for being an awesome teacher, and also Mr. Gegelman. I apologize if I butchered that name, but yeah, both professors, like, if you come to Rankin Technical College in St. Louis, Missouri, be sure to at least say hi to these guys. Like, they're awesome. And that's it.